Have y'all ever noticed the thing you want the most is the thing that's the hardest for you to get? And I'm not talking about wanting it a little bit. I'm talking about when you want it like really, really bad and you find yourself thinking about it every single day, even when you go to sleep. Then you wake up and it's like the first thing on your mind. Everybody is constantly thinking about something, whether it's that job, a certain person, or that breakthrough that you've been waiting on. And the crazy part is, the harder you go after it, the further away it seems to get from you. I'll give you an example just to make sure that y'all picking up what I'm putting down. You might like somebody. So you make yourself available, right? You text that person first, check in, show up. You do all the things that you think that you were supposed to do. And somehow they start moving different, pulling back, getting distance. You didn't do anything wrong. You just wanted that person too bad and they felt it. It was something in that wanting and neediness that pushed them away. Maybe it's money, or you need a check to clear, or a gig to come through. You follow up, you push too hard, but you call yourself staying on top of it. In some way, somehow, the opportunity dries up. The person you called yourself liking falls back. And that thing you were counting on, it falls apart right in front of you. You didn't mess up. You just needed it too bad. They heard the need in your voice. They felt it in your energy. So they shut it down and moved away. That's what killed it. So I'm going to give you the real. When you move from a place of need, you lose before you even begin. Not because you're not good enough, not because you don't deserve it, but because need has a frequency, and that frequency repels everything that you were reaching for. You ever been around somebody that's like super thirsty? I don't mean thirsty for water, I mean like thirsty for attention. They need outside validation or constantly want something from you, even if that's your attention. You can feel that energy, right? Even if they don't say anything, you can literally feel them wanting something from you. And what do? You pull back, you create space. You might even avoid them or cut them completely off. Not because they're a bad person, but because something in you knows that something about them just ain't right. They end up not being solid. They basically leaning on you to feed off of your energy, your likeness. And nobody got that type of time or energy to invest into another human being like that. That's what happens when you need something too much. People feel that neediness, just like life feels that neediness, and it steps back. I'm not saying not to want things. Whatever you want, go for it. Put in that work, chase your dreams, go after it. But there's a difference between wanting something and needing it to feel okay. Wanting it means you're moving toward it because it's dope, because it makes sense to you, because it's aligned with your purpose. Needing it means you're moving toward it because without it, you don't feel whole. You don't feel like you're enough without this thing. Your energy feels off. And that's the difference. That's everything right there. Because when you need it, you're not really going after it. You're going after the feeling that you think that it's going to give you. The validation, the relief, the proof that you matter. And people can tell. They might not know how to say it, but they can definitely feel it. And it changes how they see you. You ever seen somebody walk into a room and everybody just notices that person? They're not doing anything special. They're not loud. They're not trying to impress anybody. But there's just something about their aura, something solid, something calm. That's what I'm talking about. That's the frequency you want to be on. And you can't fake that. You can't act confident if you're shaking on the inside. You can't pretend you're good if you're falling apart when nobody's looking at you. It shows. It always shows. So how do you fix it? You got to get right with yourself first. And I mean like really right. Not fake it till you make it, not positive affirmations in the mirror. I'm talking about actually dealing with the thing that's got you feeling like you're not enough. and it's got you chasing everything. Most people don't want to do that. They don't want to fix the internal thing because they're following external things. They always say, once I get the money, I'll feel secure, or once I get the success, I'll feel worthy. But it don't work like that. Because if you get the thing while you're still feeling empty on the inside, you're going to be empty with the thing. Eventually, you're going to need more until you realize more is never going to be enough. I've seen it 100 times. Dude gets the girl he was chasing. He's insecure about losing her. So he starts doing too much, checking her phone, questioning her, trying to control her. And guess what? She ends up leaving him. Not because he wasn't enough, because he was moving from fear the entire time. Or the person who finally gets some money. And instead of being solid, they sitting there stressed out about how to keep it. They scared to spend it. They're always looking over their shoulder, and somehow all they bread end up slipping away because they're not operating in abundance. It's not that they're bad with money. They just used to being broke and they don't feel they deserve more. You see what I'm saying? The thing you're chasing isn't the problem. The way you're chasing it is the problem. And the way you're chasing it is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. If you believe you're only valuable when somebody wants you, you're going to move desperate in relationships. And that desperation is going to push people away. If you believe you're only secure when you got money, you're going to move tight with opportunities, and tightness blocks flow and blessings. If you believe you got to force everything to happen, you're going to exhaust yourself trying to control what you can't control. And life is going to humble you every single time. So what do? You stop, you pull back, you get still for a second, and you ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? Because under all of that trying, all of that forcing, there's fear. Fear that you're not good enough, fear that it won't work out, fear that if you don't make it happen, it's not going to happen. And that fear, that's what's running the show. It's making your decisions, it's in your voice, it's how you talk, it's in your eyes when you look at people, it's in your energy when you walk into every room. And until you deal with that fear, you're going to keep repelling the things you want the most. But here's the good part, the part that actually changes everything. You don't got to be perfect. You don't got to have it all figured out. You just got to be honest with yourself about where you're really at in life. And then you got to decide that you're good either way, not in a fake way, I don't care kind of way, in a real, I want it, but I'm good without it, with or without it kind of way. That shift is what attracts instead of repels. When you're good with or without something that feels good, ironically, things move closer to you because you're good with or without money. You're not chasing it. You content. And that's when opportunities gonna start showing up. When you're good with or without the outcome, you stop forcing. You stop squeezing. You stop trying to control every little single thing. And that's when life starts working with you instead of against you. I know it sounds backwards. You're thinking, if I stop caring, nothing's gonna happen, right? But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is stop needing it to feel whole. Stop letting your peace depend on it. Stop making it the thing that determines whether you're okay or not. Because when you do that, you're taking back your power. You stop giving it away to people, to situations, to outcomes you cannot control. And you start working from within. And you start standing in power instead of leaning and instead of begging and trying to force scenarios. And life notices that. Doors open that were closed before. Conversations happen that weren't going to happen before you made this change. And that's what the universe is looking for within you. Not because you got lucky, because you changed your frequency. You leveled up and life responds to frequency. because money responds to frequency. People respond to frequency. You can't be moving in fear and expect abundance. You can't move in lack and expect overflow. And you cannot be moving in desperation and expect anything great to happen in your life. It doesn't work like that. But when you get solid, when you get clear, when you stop trying to prove something and just be something, everything shifts. The person you were chasing, they start chasing you. The money you were stressing over, it starts flowing easier. The opportunities you were forcing, they start appearing without you having to beg for them. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. And I'm telling you this because I wish somebody would have put me up on this earlier when I was younger. I wasted years trying harder, doing more, forcing things that weren't meant to be forced. And it wasn't until I stopped, until I got real with myself, and until I dealt with the fear underneath all of that trying. And that's when things started clicking. So if you're in that place right now where you're doing everything right, but nothing's working, take a breath. Stop trying so hard to make things happen for a second and just check your frequency. Are you moving from fear or faith, lack or abundance? From I need this or I want this, but I'm good either way? Because that's the difference. That's the difference between everything falling apart and everything falling into place for you. So here's the fix. You got to lock into your mind and realize everything starts from there. Once you control that, you control everything we just talked about. If you found value in this, grab one of my books in the description or click the link below to buy me a coffee. Either is appreciated. Support the channel so we could keep growing strong. Hopefully, you walked away with more value than you walked in with, and we brightened your day. On that note, we're going to end it like we always do. All gas, no brakes. Lock in. Peace.